I've been digging through the distant memories of my past, and metaphorically and literally, I have uncovered a lot of underlying issues that I haven't realized until now. I'm gonna read a quote from 4 years ago. Aiden, on this day, November 19th, 2019, 17 years ago you were born. I was so excited when you were. I've watched you grow up so much it amazes me and makes me so proud to see the man you have become and are becoming. For your 17th birthday, I want it to be extra, extra special. I want to give you a gift, and I'll need your help to figure out exactly what it'll be. Within a year of today's date, I'd like to take you on a trip anywhere in the world, just you and I. We have to plan it and save a little bit. It would mean the world to me if you and I could go on a vacation adventure together. We can use this journal to write out our plans for it. Or you can bring it on your trip. By the way, better start thinking about where you'd like to go. I love you, bud. With all my heart, Mom. My mom wanted to take me on a trip to somewhere. She wanted to have me decide where it was. And then the whole world got fucked up. I think when the whole world stopped working the way it used to, when underlying issues and the cracks of people were showing, the dreams, the abs, the dreams, the magical gossamer thin paint of perfection we all saw within our lives, or in some cases, an illusion of something better but not necessarily good. When all of that was wiped away within 4 months of a lockdown, of a quarantine brought to us by a virus created by the very people who should have been protecting us, people who wanted peace but planned for war of any kind. When our world was skewed, when the biggest disaster since 9/11 and many others, I hesitate to say, to drag out a farther explanation than I should, has happened. When all of that happened, we lost a lot of things. And we have begun a slow and steady downward spiral that has been only accelerated by the lockdown and COVID. We're in a sort of depression that has rocked most of the world for the worse. I don't know how much longer we have, in all honesty, before another virus, before nukes start dropping, before anything really. And that got me thinking today, as I was looking through my stuff and seeing things about myself that I forgot, that I have both learned and relearned the virtues that I used to profess a lot before this virus caused us to be so distant as a people. That being, I've become a lot more self-absorbed, ambition riddled, or I should say ambitious. I've become a hypocrite, an idiot, and a slight narcissist. I was just so focused on myself and medicating my depression that I forgot what exactly the whole purpose of doing it was. Putting me down a spiral of pain and self-destruction in ways that drugs simply can replicate, but not in a particular way. A very human way to deal with an inhuman problem, that being coping with our current day and age. I'm not blaming it on that. I'm just simply saying that I'm struggling to articulate a way to fix my problems, to deal with my issues, and to, I should probably say, to manage my quirks. I have anger issues. I take things personal even if it's not. I get angry easily and I don't like to show it. I don't like to be angry either. It just happens. I don't like the idea of being a bad person for the sake of actually caring, but admittedly I don't like to be seen in a bad light. Hence why, of course, that means I'm a narcissist. I do so many things and say so many things off of the simple instinct, like I'm on autopilot to do it. All my kindness, all of my caring, all of it, to a degree, has been the result of my subconscious taking over me. And that's not me entirely talking. I think like a machine, more so than a human. And that's the part that bugs me, is that I feel like I'm simply looking in on everyone. I feel like I just am so distant from everybody I know. I talk about how I wish the best for people, and I do. I just feel as though sometimes that, due to my nature, I'm more of a hindrance than an actual good influence to someone. I've given a lot of my friends and family good advice, therapy, different perspectives, things that I'm happy I've done for people, but I don't like the person I am, because everything I've ever done was either half-consciously, half-baked things that turned out to be good, or off the pretense that simply it'll just be better mutually for me and someone else. I've been distant from so many people for the past 2 years. And I've been a shut-in for a lot longer. And I feel as though I simply have wronged a lot of people I care about because of who I am. Either on a game, or just in a passing conversation, just something. I've done something. Maybe it was an insult. Maybe I took a joke too far. Maybe I maybe I got angry, said some pretty mean things. I know that's a product of being human, but I just feel so different. My thought process, my issues. I wanted to talk about this because I haven't uploaded anything for a while because of this. I haven't uploaded anything about gaming because I'm too stubborn and lazy to turn on my recording software. I don't even have recording software still. I could do it, my computer can handle it, but I just don't do it. I could be anywhere right now. I could have built myself up to be anywhere. I tried and failed once and never tried again after that. Not fully committed, I should say. In this corporate dystopian world that we're slowly easing into by the year, as I'm watching people do so much. As I'm digging through stuff to sell and donate in terms of toys, books, in this tote you just saw. As I'm dealing with all of this, I just keep losing the motivation. I keep thinking to myself, a whole bunch of snobby, sickly, old assholes are gonna blow up the planet over money. And all I can do here is just get a bachelor's degree and, live the rest of my life in the shit town that I'm in. In this shit state that I live in this shit country that I'm in. Crying over spilled milk and my rights being violated by a government that doesn't care. Well, 100 miles north of me and 1,000 miles south of me on the same planet, the same species of people that I'm from are dying and starving in homes because their lives are worse. And I'm mad about how we don't have privacy or freedom of speech anymore in a country that's considered to be one of the most freest in the world. It's not, but, compared to lots of other places, is what I always say when I complain. And my complaints have no end, I admit. I'm mad about that too. I'm complaining about how I complain too much. I always have something negative to say about something. Doesn't matter how good it seems, I always expect there to be a downside. Sometimes I even want one. Just so I can complain about something. So I can be right. I never cared about being right. I just cared about learning. But admittedly, I've grown a little bit of an ego as a byproduct of learning, of sorts. I've become so self-absorbed in my own bullshit, I forget that I don't know everything. Even when I try my best to not think that way, I just sometimes naturally come to that conclusion. And then when I'm proven wrong, I find an excuse as to why. I blame somebody, I blame something else. To a degree, ignorance is not the fault of the individual, but to a degree, it also is. And I am full of ignorance, both willfully and otherwise. So, I'm sorry for ranting to you. I'm sorry for my anger. I'm sorry for fixating on things and forgetting that you want to do something else. I'm sorry for being a bad friend. I'm sorry for being a bad family member. And I'm sorry for being a narcissistic prick. I'm not as good as a person as you might think I am, but I want to be. But I'm always wrestling with myself to be a good person. I'm always wrestling with myself because I know what's right, at least I think, but I just get lost in my own self-absorbed ego that I forget in the moment. I'm not self-aware. Sometimes I even doubt that I'm a person. I just want to be. I have a lot of knowledge, but I can't do anything with it. I have a lot of passion, but it's towards things that are destructive. I have a bleeding heart, but I'm just getting blood everywhere. And I'm always so worried. I forget that there's a silver lining. I'm so negative that it chills people. I'm so obsessed with what I'm obsessed with that it bugs people. You could read me like a book and just know that I'm all twisted sometimes. A lot of people I know are worried about that, are worried about me. I'm sorry for making you worry. There's people who consider me their brother, younger and older, and on a lot of levels, I've failed them. I'm a difficult person, and I'm sorry. I've always known that, but I always just lied to myself to feel better about it. I always just made an excuse, saying I would do better next time, and then I repeat the same process. Or I do better sometimes, but the progress is so jarringly slow. Feels like I'm a sack of bricks being pulled by somebody up a hill, only to build a house that's gonna crumble after only a year of being built. I feel like I'm the boulder that Sisyphus carries up the hill, essentially. I never wanted to be the problem for anyone. I never wanted to be a hindrance. I never wanted to be anything but a good influence on people's lives. But all I do is just suck the joy out of others like a vampire. I live like one. I look ruggishly as one and disheveled. I just want to say that today I realized all of this, and I've come to terms with the fact that I need to fix it. And admittedly, it is for myself as it is much as it is for you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know where I went wrong, but I'm wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things. Even if I'm right, I'm so angry or so passionate about it. I pay too much attention to small things that don't matter anymore. And I ignore all the good things that I have. All the good people that I have. All the good people I had that I can't talk to anymore. Because I either turned them away with my idiocy, or because they're not allowed, or they're not able to speak to anyone anymore, if you catch my meaning. Everyone I know, for the most part, tells me I have potential and that I'm a good guy and says a lot of nice things about me, and I don't get it. I don't hate it, but I don't get it. If you could see what's in me that I see, you would hate me too. I want to be a better person, and I want so much more. I want something wholesome, something pure in myself, and I can't. It just feels so hard to bring out the best I can do. It feels so difficult to get over my anxieties. It feels so difficult to just be normal. I hate myself. I hate what I have done to the people I care about. The neglect, the distancing, the ignoring. I've done it to almost everyone I know. I've obsessed over people so much they left. I'm combing through the past 4 years of my life, because in those 4 years, ever since my world changed because of all of this crap going on and me just simply growing up, I have hated the person I've been turning into. I've hated the person I was before all of this. I'm either a nice person who doesn't understand the plot, or an asshole who's just only being nice because they want to be loved. I'm essentially admittedly struggling with a crisis of some sort mentally. An identity sort of crisis. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to bother anyone. But I just want to clear the air that, yes, I have a lot going on in my head. I don't want to ignore it, but I don't know if meds and doctors will help. It's not that I'm mentally unstable, like I'm gonna freak out and beat someone up or anything. It's more like I'm just in a self-destructive depression stage of my life, and I don't know how to get out of that sort of issue. I'm just trying to struggle with being the right person for the people I care about. It feels like I'm just trying to it feels like I'm trying to parody the person that everyone says I am. Like it's all an act. It's half the time it feels like that, the other half I'm actually living the actual part of me that people do see. I don't know what exactly is real anymore about myself, because I don't know what I actually want. I've been so self-absorbed and absorbed in everything else around me that I've forgotten how to be my own person. And the person I am and have been portraying lately, these past 2 years, especially, have been disappointing, underwhelming, and foolhardy. I've become a hypocrite, a sycophant, and a narcissist because of my inability to deal with my own depression and self-deprecation. I've hurt people unknowingly because of that. I've ignored people unknowingly and knowingly because of it. And I am sorry. There's some people I need to be away from because they're not good for me. There's some people I need to be with more because they'll help me figure out, hopefully, some semblance of a direction towards being a good person. I'm in this morally gray, neutral area right now, and I'm just informing you that I, again, am sorry. And if it is any help, I guess, to alleviate the struggle and the frustration that I have given you or anyone else that you've known, that I am admitting that it's my fault, that I'm the issue, and that I am truly sorry. I will need some time to be better, to actually be the person I want to be, for both our sakes. But that will take time, and I might be gone, I might be alone, I might not talk to most people, I might be talking to a lot of people, I might be playing a lot of games or working a lot of jobs. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'm just going to be trying something. I'm not optimistic. I feel like I'm going to amount to nothing, but I'm going to at least work towards something, so I can at least do something right by you guys. I've been a bad friend, a bad brother, and I've been a bad son in some ways, and in a lot of ways for a lot of other things. I've had a lot of breakups in these past 4 years. Most of it was my fault. Some of it was theirs. And I think it's a lot of it tied to my depression, my obsessions, and my one-tracked mindset. So I want to apologize and say that you have the right to either talk to me or not to. But whatever you do, I just want to let you know that everything I do, I don't have a bad intention, but I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes, to even most of the time. And I would appreciate if you let me know personally what you think. I've always been distant, an outcast, an outlier, all that crap. And I've always been weird. I've always been odd. But I haven't really been a person. I've just been some weird creature that walks on two legs like a person. And I feel sorry. I feel bad for bothering people with that. So, thank you for listening and take care.